So this is, speaking of Facebook, you may find some of this data interesting and perhaps not surprising. 16, and this is about a year old, and things have actually improved since then in terms of the use of Facebook for recruiting. But 16% of all job seekers have received a job referral from Facebook. We normally don't think of Facebook as a place where you go and find a job, but 16% of all job seekers have received a referral for job through Facebook. Very importantly, 60% of the profiles on Facebook have professional information in it. So in essence, Facebook, in many big ways, presents itself as a professional platform because you declare where you work, you declare where you're going to school, and you have your title. So it has the basic objects you need for it to act as a recruiting platform. And very importantly, 48% of all job seekers have said that they have used Facebook for their job hunting, 48%. So roughly half of all Facebook's population says they use Facebook for their job search. And that was the genesis for us to look into this opportunity. As you know, there are 32 million Facebook users in Turkey. Yes?
That 48% is really high. How does that compare with LinkedIn?
I will get to that. I will definitely get to that. Great question, and I'm glad you asked that right away. That's the first question I get. We looked at Turkey and we said, okay, this is one of the top markets of Facebook in the world. And today, if you look at, people mostly use it for communication, profiles, some social discovery now with the search coming on, gaming clearly, but there's a lot more to be done in other verticals. And these 32 million users, many of them are young, they are in the workforce, and as I said, they have declared their professional affiliations on Facebook. So what can we provide them? So what Istasocial does is, Istasocial is jobs through friends at the end of the day. Simply put, we are enriching job postings and companies with social graph and bringing friends to that conversation. Almira asked the question, well, LinkedIn is, obviously, how does it compare with that? Well, LinkedIn is, by design, by definition, a recruiting platform. That's their core offering. Facebook, on the other hand, I'm not saying it's a recruiting platform, but Facebook is a mass media. And a mass media that speaks to millions and billions of people around the world has more uses than just communication and profile sharing and content sharing. Because you're declaring your professional information. When we have when we have imported data from Facebook, 50% of all profiles that we look at have professional information on Facebook. So it allows us to leverage it. And I'll share with you how do we differentiate from ourselves from LinkedIn in Turkey. And actually, let me just take that right away because it will help clarify. I think LinkedIn, when you look at the Turkish market, LinkedIn is still a domain of the sort of more elite jobs. Perhaps people who are bilingual, people who are maybe in the technology field, or more higher paying jobs. We are very clear, going back to our roots as a company, we are building a mass brand. I'm not interested in just serving people in one part of Istanbul. We would love this to be serving every Facebook user in this country. And that is 32 million of the total 75 million population, half the country. And in fact, some of the first customers that we have signed up, they are using our product to recruit teachers in some of the remotest parts of Turkey. That, in my opinion, is value creation. LinkedIn cannot do that. And it's great that they've got a very clear model, and they are good at that. So we differentiate ourselves from LinkedIn being, first of all, a local brand, and two, a mass brand. That is not trying to just focus on one industry or the other. So in Istasocial, it's a Facebook app. This is what we see. When you come in, we import your data. We know where you're working. Or if we don't know that, we ask you to provide that information, just your title, just your company information. And based on that, we are able to share with you some of the jobs that you might find interesting. Now, these job listings from these companies are coming from local job boards that we are getting data from. We are also now offering our own job postings. So what we're doing is we're adding your social layer to, why this is Okay, so we're adding social layer to these companies and job boards. So when you look at a company, you can see who are your friends from your network who are there. And by the way, that happens within a minute of you installing the app. We are instantly matching your social graph to job postings that are in our database, coming from all the top job boards in Turkey, as well as our own posting. And you can use this very sophisticated search. We've got a great developer, Umid Gunesh, who developed awesome search, which is very detailed, and you can start to connect with the right folks who can make introductions to those companies and act as your inside connections and your trusted connections. Because we do know in this country and in our region, relationships matter. You get jobs through your friends. And that's what we are bringing onto this platform. So a company like Vodafone, if you go to Vodafone, for example, their page on our site is the social. You will see Vodafone, you will see their pictures, you will see their content, you will see their job postings here that they're hiring. So again, we are providing a channel for companies to engage with Facebook users with their professional content. That certainly LinkedIn does, but this brings companies into the mass domain. Today, obviously, all the big brands, and we see that in our social part of the business, definitely market on Facebook to build their brands as products. But they're not leveraging Facebook to build their HR brands, to be an employer of choice. Here, there's an opportunity for Guarantee and others to do that. And I'll show you some examples where folks have adopted Insta Social for exactly that.